everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, June 9, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. If you were to say to somebody, the two things you could say to them, you would say to them. One would be, how many sides to a coin? Well, of course, they would say two. Heads and tails, front and back. And you would say, no. The edge is a side. It's between either side. Now, what if you said to somebody, what's the fourth side of the coin? We've heard the saying over and over again, that the expression that there are two sides to every coin. I think we've heard that quite a few times through our lifetime. There's heads and tails, which represent the metaphor that everything has its polar opposite in this physical world. We simply need to flip the coin over to realize this and experience that everything has another side to it. Every peak has a valley. Every microcosm has a macrocosm. Every bad occurrence has something good behind it, which balances everything out. We need this contrast to bring about an experience of this life. The sun needs the vast darkness of empty space behind it for us to be able to receive its perfect warmth and light. There are some people that who have explored these two sides who know about the third side of the coin, which is the edge between the two. This is a very thin sliver of gray energy that's neither black nor white, right or wrong, nor too hot or cold. It is that warm, sweet spot that lives exactly in between these two polar extremes. Finding this edge in your daily life, this sacred meeting point between the negative and the positive, allows you to experience a freedom from both sides on the edge. You cannot get wrapped up in the dramatic story or bias of either side, and realize there is the option of a third perspective to choose from. To remain on the third side all day long is a massive balancing act that leads to great joy and freedom. It does take mastery, as it's like walking a tightrope. You've seen, circus, on how careful you have to be walking that tight rope. One small slip, you may fall back into the drama of polarity consciousness. You must be very conscious to always remain on this third side of the coin, and yet the benefit is a lifetime of harmony between your mind and heart, and freedom from all thoughts and emotions. You discover a natural, gentle freedom from situations which would have previously made you feel emotionally imprisoned or stuck, believing in some unbalanced point of view. Meeting someone who is living their life balancing on the third side of the coin is quite a rare occurrence. Yet to encounter a being who knows about the fourth side of the coin is never heard of. Have you ever considered that there is a fourth side of the coin to be explored? Most people haven't, which is why I'm curious if you can imagine or guess what the fourth side is right now. So I invite you to take some time to let your imaginations really fly with this one. before I tell you what it is. The fourth side of the coin is something that cannot be forcefully understood by the mind, yet is revealed through a very relaxed, open, and receptive heart. One must let go of all analytical, rational thinking to be drawn into the fourth side, which can happen instantly in a state of crazy laughter or orgasmic ecstasy. The fourth side is spontaneously discovered in the purpose or process of stepping back from the mind, seeing the mind truly for what it is, and noticing how expansive it feels when the mind drops its grip on your life. The normal self is the mind. The mind is with limitations, but pure consciousness, beyond limitation, it is reached by investigation into the I, Raman Maharishi. Imagine a room without a ceiling, okay, and is also missing all the walls, corners, or edges. This is the place that the fourth side of the coin takes up. It is experienced as a state of being or presence, which is beyond all three sides of the physical coin. The fourth side has no boundaries, no limitations, no time constraints, and no set beliefs on what's not possible in this universe. The fourth side is always bigger than the mind can imagine. It is truly immense. And if we took an entire day to talk about the fourth side of the coin, we would still just gaze or graze the surface of it. Once you discover it, you'll find that the words cannot touch it. Thoughts cannot contain it. It is that sacred mystery which opens you up to your infinite nature. Most of us have seen the first trilogy, the first movie, The Matrix. The fourth side of the coin was best described in The Matrix. When Neo approached the little bald prodigy child who was bending the spoon with his mind, and the boy says to the perplexed-looking Neo, "Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth that there is no spoon. Then you'll see that it's not the spoon that bends, yet only yourself." What the boy was pointing towards was the metaphysical understanding of the fourth side of the coin. It contains an energy that connects all things because it is indivisible, undividable, and always consciously here, permeating every thought, feeling, and atom in this universe. Stepping over to the fourth side is similar to leaping from the third dimension to the fourth dimension of consciousness and beyond. It's like a mini drug trip that blows the mind out of any context or safe container it was previously living in. The fourth side is all about creating a mindless, timeless experience felt within the body. It is only when we're truly free from all this mind chatter, when the mind has stopped making up stories and is no longer running the show, telling you what to do, what to believe, how to see things, that you finally begin hearing the deeper silence inside. From this place, the fourth side is instantly revealed. Now, of course, you can give it a shot and explain the fourth side in technical scientific terminology. Yet our mind would just throw that definition into a little box and say, "Oh yes, I get it. I know exactly what it is now." This is not the purpose for the fourth side. Its reason for existing is to keep your mind opening, always guessing, so that you are continuously expanding your state and accessing the most magical parts of your being. The mystery of the fourth side is meant to keep you living in a state of wonder, where you are opening and surrendering to this life, so that eventually you become released from the trap of the logical, rational mind. Just watch the mind. Well, we step back from the mind. We do this in meditation. We leave it alone. You say you step back from it or leave it alone. Notice how it's always thinking about something, always seeking for something. It wants more things, more ideas, more food, more stuff, more money, more plans, more desires to try and fill its life up with. The mind never takes a vacation or gives you time to notice the immense mystery which is all around you. If the mind settled down, gave you one day of complete silence inside, everything would change. You'd find true infinite self and see there was much more to life, to this life, than this busy mind. This is exactly what exploring the fourth side is all about. Quote from Ramana Maharishi, the self is here and now and alone. It is not new and something to be acquired. It is a natural and permanent. The term self refers to the unlimited, the infinite self. Do not limit its meaning. See, we have different levels of understanding, of comprehension. So we comprehend, okay, so you can, the analogy of the third side of the coin and fourth side of the coin, and then you look at the fifth side of the coin, and you go interdimensionally and look at the sixth side of the coin, and the seventh side of the coin, the eighth and the ninth, and so on. All this is that we're mastering the mind ego. Okay, the mind is an illusion. It created the ego as also an illusion to assist it. And you could go into super id and super ego and super duper whooper this and that. But it's an understanding that we discover with ourselves. You're in this biological, organic vessel to do what? Well, pose this for everyone. If you remembered all of your past lives, all of them, I mean photographically, every detail, and you knew this, all of these lives, would you, here's the question, see, because then the answer might be, well, I don't know until I know all my past lives again. Would you reincarnate? This is a question to ask yourself. Would you enter another physical body? And also ask yourself, if the answer that you give yourself is yes, why? So we step back from all of it. We step back from the two sides of the coin, the third side of the coin, fourth side of the coin, fifth side of the coin. We step back from all of it. And we look, we watch. We aren't judging, analyzing, or shredding, or pulling apart. We're watching and looking. And we're deeply silent. To understand our true freedom is within and not this body. not this ego mind. None of it. So we're in the body and we have amnesia. So we don't remember our past lives. Okay? But there is a way to remember your past lives. You know how you get, we all do this, how you go into certain avenues of your life, ins and outs, and your experiences and everything. And every now and then, you come across, and it's very delicate, it's very sensitive, because you remember the ego mind's there, okay? You go, start thinking, saying that you reincarnated, you were a famous being and you reincarnated into a body. That is ego mind. You could say, well, my name was Mary Smith in a past life, and I know exactly how my life was. Or, my name is Bill Johnson 700 years ago, and I lived this life. It's quite interesting. We don't correlate that because we just negate those areas. It's like when you are doing something, someone says, hey, could you give me some help with this? I'm trying to figure this out. You just step in and you do it. And they're kind of amazed and go, how did you know how to do that? You can actually say, I pulled it from one of my past lives, obviously, because I sure as heck did not pick it up in this life. See, we have a reference library, each of us do, throughout all existence and beyond. The reference library is for us to refer back to certain things, okay, that we reference to assist us in this life. Some might call those guides, okay? Some might call them guides, guardian angels, so on and so forth. It's you, the God in that body, the pure consciousness, which is actually plugged in to all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. So when you have instances that you say to yourself, how did that come about? How was I able to know that? And you review your life, your current life, and you go, no, I didn't. There isn't anything that I can pull up on my screen, so to speak, that in this life would afford me that understanding or that knowledge to be able to do that. Then you say, it's from one of my past lives. See, this happens to many people. And it comes in, and since you don't remember, and this comes in, but it feels familiar, right? But you can't put your finger on it. It's like, this is strange. But when you start acknowledging the fact that you're carrying the God that you are, all past life information, and where is that God? In that body. So the deception for everyone on this planet keeps them, the deception is what they follow, and keeps them disconnected from the God that they are. Therefore, they do not focus on any of the deep spiritual understanding of who and what they are. And as time goes by, this construct we call time, as it goes by, we become more and more atrophied. Atrophied is what? Well, as gods, we atrophy because the connection is not there. It is, but we don't know how to access it. And we get frustrated, angry with ourselves, which only, for any of us, it draws in low frequencies. What would you rather listen to? Musical instrument that's just desperately out of tune, or one that is perfectly tuned? Which one would you rather listen to? Well, obviously you would probably say the one that's perfectly tuned, of course. This is what we're doing. We're out of tune. All of us are, at different stages. Let's put it that way. Not a bad thing. We are out of tune with who and what we are. We're immersed and surrounded by what? Low vibrational frequencies. What are those? Hate, mistrust, distrust, anger, deception, manipulation, fear, anxiety, stress, all of those. We're like bathed in that, in this society. I don't think any of us would disagree with that. Not a negative, because since I'm talking about it, means that it puts us halfway there. Where's there? Full discovery that we're a God in the body and pure consciousness and not the body. That's a difference. You could say to yourself, I'm not the body. Okay? Leave it at that. But that's superficial, that's ego mind. Well, you can stay at that too, that's up to you. But we're here to discover that. And lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, we don't. Because I'll tell you why. If we discovered that in physical form, fully, deeply, across the board, we wouldn't feel motivated to want to reincarnate again. Because we had already discovered who and what we are. Now, of course, you were able to keep those memories and then say, well, I'd like to reincarnate in another physical form so I can experience material physical life, but I will know who and what I am. Now think about that. What would that mean? Well, that would mean you'd come into a body knowing exactly who and what you are. You would be impervious to being zapped, electrified, and everything. Just bounce off of you. You'd go in, and you would know all this. Heart, mind, not ego mind. Then you would immediately master the ego mind. It wouldn't take you. It would be a very, very brief period of time. And you would master your thoughts, and you would master all of this. And you would manifest instantaneously anything you desired through the heart mind, through the God that you are. And the ego mind would no longer exist. Now, you would desire things, of course, but those things would be at a much higher understanding. Would they benefit you? Of course you would want that. Why would you want them not to benefit you? You would want them to benefit you and everyone around you. Okay? Many of us have come to the understanding or conclusion, say, why do we keep doing this? Why are we in this cycle? Thousands of lifetimes and never remembering any of them. This is like, we talk about the third side, the fourth side, and the fifth side of the coin. just an analogy. And we begin to realize is that, yeah, but then I've had people say, well, I discover this, and then I come back in the body and I don't remember. But you would remember. What do we do from there? Say, everybody on the planet remembers all their past lives. I mean, exactly. I'm not missing one smidgen of those lives. Now, if that's the case, then you would know all of your future lives, yin and yang. How many of us in this very now moment would embrace that through the heart-mind? And through the heart-mind, there's no fear. There's no fear of the unknown. There's adventure, excitement, enthusiasm, but there's no fear. You know, but here's the primer, if you will. The way the universes are structured through the collective consciousness are that you may look at a future life, but it won't be exactly the life that you would play out. Okay? That you would play out. So it wouldn't be a true future life. It's just like numerous times throughout existence, there are beings who have thought that they could know their futures, therefore changing the now, or changing the past, okay, or changing the future. But the universe wants us to live in the now, because all that other stuff can really mess you up. And if you aren't balanced and you haven't mastered the ego mind and the mind and all the thoughts, and you reside within the heart mind, if you've done all that consistently, then you wouldn't be motivated to do any of the things I just shared with you. You would only want those things through the ego mind. Period. That's what would drive you. That's what would motivate you to want to know. And I don't believe all of us would want to know our futures. I don't believe that there's many that would. There's some that would enthusiasm, oh, heck yeah, I'd love to know my future. And there's a little black and white cartoon that we have on our website. And it says it all. You got the present, right, or the now, and there's like a little booth there, and then you go over, as you're staring at it, you go to the left, and there's the past. Everybody's lined up there. And then there's the future. Everybody's lined up there, but there's nobody in the now. How do you feel about how this planet would be when the majority of us only existed in the now? Now, how tempting through the ego mind it is to go, you're in the now, but to go in tomorrow and the next day and a year from now or a month from now. How? Or go into the past, month, 2 months, a year, or whatever. It's okay to do that for ourselves when we're referencing. Okay? Which means that you say, all right, 10 years ago I did this. Here's what the outcome was. So you go into your reference library. And because you have manifested something that you're being presented with that seems very similar to what you were presented with 10 years ago that you embraced and went with, and it didn't pan out for you. And so and then you look at, okay, so what did I do this time? What did I do back then that I could change now? Maybe the universe is saying, hey, here's the opportunity again. Maybe you've learned enough so that you can take a different approach with it. Remember, the universe is always there. You will have the universe for always and forever. You're in that body, you have the universe. Best friend, never leaves, never lets you down, just is there all the time. This is why it's so important to focus on the now, because we'd be flying everywhere. We'd be like over here, over there, over here, over there, back there, wanting to know all this stuff. Yet we're in the now. We're experiencing the present moment, the energy and the frequency of that present moment, which affords us the opportunity and comprehension that we will master our thoughts, master the ego mind, really know who and what we truly are in these bodies. That's huge. The rest follows that. When you can consistently be in that moment, everything changes. Everything. And you're consistent in it. Yeah, okay, so we have this ego mind out here trying to distract you and pull you away. But after a while, it's second nature. You just know, and you know what to do with it. You embrace it, you bring it in, and you go, hey, I'm not interested in this. And it vanishes. Or you get a thought, or something triggers you. We all get triggered. It's like you don't know what, next thing you know, you're sucked into something, you're going, holy moly. But see, you get to the point where the trigger comes in, the trigger's pulled, and you say, wait a minute. I'm not interested in going there. Not at all. You can go without me. Okay? I mean, aren't we motivated enough, the gods in these bodies, to master to the point that when we manifest, it's instantaneous? And see, since it's through the heart-mind, this wouldn't be a bunch of goopy stuff that, the ego mind wants and then doesn't want, or needs and doesn't need, or take and doesn't take, all that stuff. Because we're in the heart-mind. And so it would be no different as taking a drink of water. It's just a natural occurrence for the body. And that's exactly how we will get with understanding who and what we are in these bodies. This is the key. This is the master gate for every single one of us. It doesn't matter what's happening on this planet. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter all this hoopla and propaganda and everything happening. See, that's the distraction that we have been put with for many millennia, where we get caught up and we forget to go within. We don't go within, and year after year, lifetime after lifetime, we atrophy. So that's why we repeat ourselves. There's a way of negating the zap that we get when we come in and leave. There's a way to negate it. But if you don't discover while you're in the body, guess what? Until it's completely dismantled, then you're in repeatville. Repeat. With no comprehension of that life that you enter. You just like start from scratch again. See, here's an interesting thing. We don't have, when we go through this process, it's not like we're aware. So when we're aware, we go, I don't care to have this. So therefore it won't be. Right? I don't care to have this. So I care to have this, but not this. And you know why. Because you feel it. And you understand it. So what happens is that it kind of just vanishes before your eyes. Do not allow the external world to distract the God that you are and the spirituality, the discovery of the spirituality that you are in that body. You're a divine, supreme, divine perfection being that never, ever, ever dies. You go on and on and on for millions and billions and trillions of so-called years. You take on different life forms. The reason you do is because you want to experience. There's an old story that talks about God wanted to know what it would be like to be a pig. So God enters the pig to experience the life of the pig. Well, all of the gods outside saying to God, hey, God, we got a lot of things here we've got to do. And God is so into the physicality and experiencing the pig's life because he wanted to know, or however you describe the gender. But he wanted to know. And he was so distracted that they couldn't get him out of the pig. And he said, this is why we're all here. To experience life. And what is life? God. And what is God? Pure consciousness. This is why we're all here. And we're getting very near to breaking this cycle. What does that mean? It means we will choose when the matrix will be eliminated. Won't exist. It'll be vaporized. Why? Because of the shift in our vibrational frequency across the planet as part of the collective consciousness. This is how powerful every one of us are. You could argue with your ego mind. Ego mind can make you feel the opposite of that. You notice on this planet, it's a polarized effect on all of us. The truth, right? To us, we have been trained to believe that the truth is the lie and that the lie is the truth. It's all half-assed backwards. Why has it been designed that way? So we would never discover who and what we are. And we could be abused, used, and these bodies could be abused, used, destroyed, rekindled, the gods within them confused, not knowing what they are. You see, that's why. So in the quiet time of this meditation, focus on that. Outside the ego mind. In the heart mind. As you listen and watch your breath rise and fall. Because that's where we're going. And there is nothing that's going to stop it. Join in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath. In through the nose. Easy and slow breath. Out from the mouth. Remain still. There are no accidents or coincidences in this world. Nothing is by chance. It is all a reflection, indication, expression, manifestation of your body-mind's vibration. Your vibration is determined by the thoughts and feelings you choose to experience, which are also being sent out into this universe. Your body-mind is like a massive radio tower that emits a personal signature energy, which is constantly being received by this universe. Positive feelings and thoughts create easy, healing, and satisfying experiences, while negative thoughts and feelings attract situations that leave us with a dark and lonely, impoverished experience. For today, hold your attention on the most powerful vibration there is, love. Start by tuning your radio tower so it's working at 100% by practicing self-love. Love yourself, no matter what happens today. This commitment releases all negative possible accidents from entering your vibrational field. You'll win every battle with pain, poverty, and failure. Imagine what it will be like to be self-loving and self-accepting for the next 24 hours. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Monday, June 10, 2024, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. Open your heart. Let the magic flow in.